Julian is starting to unveil more about his home life in this entry that spans several days of events. But what's becoming clearer is that things at home are getting harder to survive. Welcome back to the 24th reading in the Wherefore Art Thou Journal series. If you're new here, every Thursday we explore selected passages from Romeo and Julian's private journals, the entries that were never meant for anyone else to read. Before we dive in, if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can follow the journey each week. And don't miss our Monday shorts where I share sneak previews and behind the scenes insights into the story. His father is growing more difficult to deal with, and the walls around Julian keep closing in. But JJ refuses to let that be the end of his story, even if it means bending the truth or telling a few convincing lies. Let's see what she's gotten up to this time.
Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. Entry by Julian. I was debating whether or not to write about everything that happened Sunday night, but I ended up staying at JJ's, which thankfully kept me busy. Honestly, I didn't really want to write about it at the time. It was nice just to enjoy not being at home for once. Sure, I missed my own bed, but the one I usually sleep in at JJ's is just as comfortable. I didn't even sleep there this time though. I ended up on an air mattress on the floor. Strangely, it was pretty enjoyable. JJ whipped up some kind of rice dish for dinner, and it was amazing. She had been hoping for leftovers to take for lunch, but when she saw me going for seconds, I immediately stopped myself. I knew that look the second I saw it. The "don't you dare even think about it" look. The fixed stare could pierce an entire army. Writing that just made me laugh. I'm not even sure what time it was when there was a knock on the door. Seconds later, we heard it unlocking, clearly someone with a key. For some strange reason, I had this grand illusion that it was my aunt and uncle surprising us, but it wasn't. It was just my dad, checking to make sure I was actually there and that no one else was in the house. He started looking around, but that didn't last long because JJ flat out asked him what he was doing. When he said he was making sure we weren't hiding anyone, JJ went off. Not aggressively, though. JJ really knows how to handle my dad. She asked him if he seriously didn't trust her at all, which threw him off balance. It was a bit of a manipulation on her part, kind of like giving him a taste of his own medicine. Then she explained that she knew the rules and added a little jab saying, "Do you really think we'd be stupid enough to bring someone over when you're next door?" You should have seen the look on his face. It reminded me of the anger character from Inside Out. I thought he was going to explode. JJ started laughing and told him to relax. Then she lied, pretty smoothly I might add, saying that I told her I hadn't seen the boy since that night. You could see the relief wash over him. But then his attention shifted to me, and he asked if it was true. Of course, he doesn't trust me. Why would he? I nodded yes. I think the only reason he believed it was because it came from JJ first. That didn't stop him from treating me like crap the past few days, though. Sunday was such a relief. Before he left, he asked how Maya was doing. At least he seems to care about something. JJ, of course, used it as a distraction, flashing a big smile. She thanked him for his concern and said Maya was doing pretty well, all things considered. Now, I should probably explain what that all meant. Let's go back to Sunday morning. JJ came to pick me up for whatever she had planned. Dad answered the door. He always does when he's home. I swear it's some weird control thing. Anyway, as I was walking toward the door, I heard JJ say, "Need him again." Dad handed me some cash and asked, "Her boyfriend get called into work again?" That's when JJ hit him with something unexpected. She said, "No, his aunt died. There wasn't enough room in the family car. Maya doesn't drive, so we're going to keep her company." Maya drives? WTF. Dad didn't even question it. He handed me more money and I started walking out the door. I was shocked. Was she serious? All I could think was poor Maya. Dad even gave his condolences, so maybe he does have a heart somewhere in there. As JJ and I walked to her car, I noticed Maya sitting there in the front passenger seat and immediately felt confused. I asked if she was coming with us, but JJ said no. She was just dropping Maya off at her boyfriend's work so they could have lunch together. Huh? What about the aunt? That's when JJ revealed the aunt died 3 years ago. She completely had me, and Dad, fooled. JJ's ability to lie so flawlessly is both unsettling and impressive. Seriously, it's like a work of art. As I climbed into the back seat, I gave Maya my condolences about the aunt. Maya looked confused at first, but quickly caught on to what JJ had done. Apparently, Maya had told JJ about the aunt, but she didn't remember doing so. JJ remembers everything. That's probably why my dad likes her working for him, and why she'll make an awesome nurse someday. As we drove, I couldn't help but wonder, did JJ tell Maya the full plan? or just the part about us seeing each other? I never ended up asking her. We dropped Maya after her boyfriend's work, and I asked JJ why he was working on a Sunday. He's a mechanic, and most body shops aren't open on Sundays. JJ explained that he wasn't technically working, he's restoring a car and uses the shop on Sundays to get it done. I can't picture Maya under the hood helping, but who knows? JJ mentioned the two of them had been arguing for weeks about what color to paint it. When I jokingly suggested hot pink with flames, JJ nearly lost control of the car. She instructed me never to say that again. When we arrived where we were parking, Romeo and Eska weren't there yet. I couldn't stop moving. I was so excited to see him. JJ told me Eska had been instructed to blindfold Romeo, although it's not like he wouldn't know who he was meeting. Soon, I saw Eska's car approaching, and JJ immediately placed her hand on my shoulder. I thought I was going to cry when I saw Romeo sitting there blindfolded in the passenger seat. That's when I got an idea. I told JJ I wanted to kiss him while he was still blindfolded. I thought it would be funny. We couldn't exactly do it where we were parked, so we moved closer to where we'd start the hike. It was more secluded there. Eska helped Romeo out of the car and started walking him toward us. Once they reached us, I leaned in for the kiss. Feeling his lips again brought me so much happiness. A warm rush spread through my body in an instant. I didn't want to stop. The four of us set off walking. Romeo's dad still isn't talking to him. God, what I would give to have that in my house. It's the complete opposite here. My dad never hesitates to throw out a negative jab, and if he's not doing it, Tyler, his pawn, is quick to fire one off. Mom doesn't say much of anything. She just lets them do all the bullying, and that's exactly what they are, bullies. Your family shouldn't be bullies. They should be supportive, not people who gang up on you because you're different from them. You should feel safe in your own home, not like a prisoner. The only times I feel any sense of freedom are when I'm at JJ's, or out with her, or when I'm with Romeo, especially with Romeo, despite all the issues we're dealing with. For a long time, school felt safe too. It was the only place I knew I wouldn't have to deal with my family. Even when Tyler was there during my first year of high school, I hardly ever saw him, and he didn't bother with me then. I feel like I complain a lot, but isn't that the whole point of journaling, to let out everything that's bothering you? I suppose it's also to write about the positive stuff, and for me, that's mainly anything to do with JJ, Romeo, or my aunt and uncle. Speaking of my uncle, I really need to talk to him. He's been reaching out to JJ because he hasn't been able to get hold of me. We finally started emailing the other day. I managed to sneak time at school to check my email, at least. Thankfully, my parents don't know my password, or I'm sure they'd be snooping there too. If Tyler's running late for work, it works in my favor. I can get to the library early and check my emails. Obviously, texting isn't an option, but whatever. My uncle was asking if everything was okay, where my phone was, and if I needed him to buy me a new one. I told him my phone was perfectly fine, that I didn't even miss it. JJ's lying skills must be rubbing off on me because I know exactly what my uncle would do if he found out the truth. He'd be on a plane back from Dubai in a heartbeat. I really do miss him though. If he were here right now, I have no doubt things would be different. Would I tell him what's going on? Probably not, at least not at first. Then again, he has a way of pulling things out of me because I'm so emotionally vulnerable right now. It's hard to hide anything from him. Honestly, I just want to tell him everything because deep down, I know he'd give me the biggest hug and tell me everything's going to be okay. Now, I can't stop wishing he were here. JJ thinks we should keep this between us. Why? Because she knows my uncle would fly over immediately and try to fix everything, but she's got a plan. For it to work, not many people can know about it. Good thing no one will probably ever read this. Just in case though, I don't want to give anything away. Not until the plan works.
Funny story about Maya's boyfriend's aunt. That idea originally came from the screenplay I wrote first, Wherefore Art Thou? While traveling months later, I started shaping what would eventually become Wherefore Art Thou Journals Volume 2. And when Volume 1 was rewritten as a book, I expanded this moment directly from the screenplay. It still makes me laugh thinking about Maya's sad little wave, not yet fully understanding what JJ had actually said. What really sticks with me is the back and forth between JJ and Julian as they walk to the car. It feels small in the moment, but it says so much. Julian feels watched, because he is. Cameras on his balcony, cameras outside, no devices, no privacy. And now, even JJ's place, the one space he felt safe, doesn't feel untouchable anymore. His father is showing up there too, checking in on him like there's nowhere he can actually disappear to. He's becoming a prisoner in his own life. At least, that's how it feels. Until JJ steps in with one of her carefully crafted white lies. And everything shifts. She's determined to keep this love story alive no matter what it takes. Because when Julian sees Romeo again, even briefly, everything in the world feels lighter. Well, sort of. Because they still can't risk being caught. Not in a kiss, not in a moment, not in anything real. So for now, they stay just friends and hope no one is looking too closely. If you're enjoying these readings, take a second to like the video. It really helps the series reach more people, and make sure you're subscribed. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think JJ is doing the right thing by protecting Julian, even if it means lying, or is this all going to come back to bite them later? Let me know what you think. And if you want the full story, including everything I don't read here, you can order Wherefore Art Thou Journals Volume 1 through the links in the description or at romeoandjulian.com. Until next Thursday, keep your heart open, your journal close, and your story unfolding.